Hi Scorpio, this is your general tarot reading for Scorpio Sun, Moon and Ascendant or Rising sign for the month of November. And being November, that means that it's Scorpio season. So for many of you, it's your birthday. So, happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday dear Scorpio born in November. Happy birthday to you, happy birthday Scorpio. I'm sure this is going to be a wonderfully magical time for you. So let's find out what is going to be the magic of this Scorpio season month. Let's shuffle the cards and do as we always do and wait on all the right ones to come out for you, Scorpio. And in the meantime, let's talk about the energies that you may feel throughout the month. So we're leaving October, entering November, still under the effect of the full moon that happened for you in beautiful, sensual and receptive Taurus. And for you, my love, this might mean that there was a period where you had to release some pressure or tension around relationships, around your partnerships, people that you were working even very closely with, that there could have been a coolness or a distance, that it could have been a kind of a night and day relationship where there was a bit of a gap between the two of you. And it was the sensuality and the playfulness and the tactileness in some way that was able to fix that relationship, fix that long shadow that was cast between the two of you. And where did that long shadow come from? Well, when the sun is in Scorpio, it's almost like that it sits on the horizon halfway between the underworld and halfway between here. And you stand there with the sun at your back, casting long shadows onto relationships. And that sounds like a bad thing, like you're casting some long shadow. No, it's more of an invitation to this twilight place where you get to talk about things that are halfway in the underworld and things that are halfway here, things that have great meaning and depth for you. Things that are usually taboo subjects, things that are shadowy and hidden. So as the sun shines on this beautiful scorpionic horizon and is on your back to cast shadows in you and your partner, the receptive Taurus moon and the beautiful healing light of the sun can fix some of the deeper things within your relationship. It can fix some of the things that have been left unsaid for too long in the relationship. And the things that are brought up to be fixed very often are quite deep, quite dark. Fears, feeling that in the relationship sometimes that it's gone through a bit of a crisis moment. But again, with the sun shining out upon you and shining through you and casting out all the long shadows so that you and your significant other or your partner can figure out how to dance through these shadows of the hidden place. And supporting that is Mercury and Sagittarius in the second house, where two may become one. All things are brought together in harmony, in balance. So again, the dance, the flow, talking about some difficult issues in a relationship could bring back all of that flow. And it's you who brings the healing back to these relationships. You with your gentle glow, with the sun on your back, inviting others to dance with you, to bring back the balance, inviting others to be sensual with you, to be meaningful with you, to be deep with you, to be tactile with you, to be solid with you. Remember, the moon in Taurus is very solid and earthy. So it could mark a time of healing some relationships through good food, through good music, through that wonderful earthy connection all over again. Maybe spending time in nature. Yeah. And really making that dance happen with Mercury there. Your mind is on bringing that union together. Your mind is on having more flow in the relationship. But also Venus now retrograding in Libra in the 12th house, showing where hidden passions can also be revealed through this great sensuality, you know, and the 12th house is where we often go to seek sanctuary. So it could mark a period for those in relationships where the shadows are cast, where they're brought out to light, where they're exposed and shown in this deep hidden place, where things can be healed and the love can be renewed through this active dance of using your ability to solve and to create a dance between the two of you, where you ultimately embrace your hidden passions and find deep sanctuary in it, in forgiving some of the hurts, in forgiving some of the pain. It's a good way to begin this beautiful healing. So the hidden twilight place becomes a place for you and your love to find great sanctuary together. So it's wonderful, wonderful. Now, if love is not something that's on your mind, you could have been very focused on a business partnership or a contract, finishing up something that involves another person, finishing up an agreement, maybe ending a promise that you had to somebody else. It's severing a tie with some contract, some agreement, some business collaboration even. For some of you, the long shadow that could have been cast is when you finally allowed some relationship to die, where seventh house issues were ended, relationships were ended. But there is great healing and there is great sanctuary, as Venus retrograding in Libra is offering you great healing in love, and also great healing when it comes to partnerships in general, even those that have been severed under the influence of the full moon in Taurus. Other things that are happening, November 6th, Uranus in Aries going into the 6th house again, giving you an opportunity to really re-examine once again and shake up once again your work life. Examining, is this the job I want to be in? Is this the type of day-to-day work office space that is good by me now? Or is it stressing me out and giving me anxiety? You could have a real sudden awakening, a real moment where you get that together, where you say, I understand finally what I'm supposed to do to work in a healthy and happy environment, away from gossips, away from people who are stressing me out. And I know how to fix this. I know how to make it healthier. I know that these great flashes of inspiration are going to make my office space healthier, my attitude towards work healthier, my attitude towards my health better too. This could be a moment where you really kickstart your health regime, where you pay more attention to detoxing, purifying, cleansing, and looking for basically more natural spaces within your life in general. If your work life feels unnatural and draining to you, here comes an opportunity that begins now to radically shift that and to heal it. And an opportunity, like I said, to heal your anxieties, heal your fears, heal your doubts, heal your suspicions. Find healing and peace in bringing good balance back to your physical body, to your emotional body, to your mind, body and soul, essentially. This is a moment of great revolution for you to get that back into a beautiful space for you again, Scorpio. Now, November 7th, there is the new moon in Scorpio in the first house. Yeah, this is where everything about you is renewed. It was renewed under the beautiful sensuality of the full moon in Taurus, and it has given you great strength again, great grounding again, to re-emerge as yourself. Yeah. It's all about just reactivating everything about you. It could be a time where you have finally rediscovered the strengths in you and the passions in you, and now you only want to have meaningful relationships. You only want to have work or office spaces, or the work that you do, be healthy, happy and whole. That you only want to focus on bringing your energy back into balance, like Mercury and Sagittarius is doing, and maybe having a target on some financial issue that brings your finances back into complete balance. So you're making that happen. You are emerging as somebody stronger. You are emerging as a newer, refreshed, more loving, more gentle version of you, and that is gorgeous. So the version of you who has recovered from some of the traumas that might have been brought up recently, as a few cards come out there. Yeah, I'm seeing that here. We're getting a good few cards there, Scorpio. Sun and Scorpio card, yeah. Bringing balance back into your life. We're waiting on 3 more cards, Scorpio, and then we'll be ready to go. November 8th, Jupiter in Sagittarius in your 2nd house. Again, bring back balance to everything. Know where you really ought to be putting your energy. Know that everything in your life now must be like the dance in that twilight place. That there must be give and take. There must be flow. There, if you are giving, then there must be receiving. Everything must flow. And Jupiter is going to expand that whole concept for you. He is wanting you to maybe broaden something out. Broaden yourself out. Get back in touch with, essentially, very importantly, where you're expending your energy unnecessarily. That's the big one. But also when it comes to money and your possessions, things that you own, Jupiter wants to maybe allow you find a new target where you can make new money. So this is a good month for starting new projects that can make big money. And finding that target, focusing only on that, and allowing the beautiful Jupiter to expand that, to allow your little coins to grow into big coins. Yeah, the seeds are planted in the Scorpio money tree, so it's time now to allow Jupiter do its work and allow it to grow. So if you are creating something or starting some new project that's encouraging money to grow for you, as they say, from little acorns grow mighty oaks, and this is the energy that Jupiter is bringing to you. But all done with a great sense of equilibrium and balance. It's almost like the lesson you will learn under Jupiter is that you will find more balance in everything in your life, in your family, your home, your relationships, your work, your health, as long as you allow balance to expand, as long as you explore how to keep everything in perfect balance. So that's beautiful. And with the 1st house there, new moon in the 1st house, the sun in the 1st house, and then the energy there with Mercury in the 2nd house, and then Jupiter in the 2nd house. It's all about being able to stand up and hold your sense of grace. Have your poise, have balance. For those of you who work in fields where you need balance, poise, grace, beauty, flow, harmony, this is a wonderful time to expand that. If you're a dancer, if you are an athlete, if you are somebody who does public speaking or something like that, where you need flow, balance, poise, art, any of the arts, drama, this is fantastic. And certainly if you have creative schemes or even money schemes, allow the poise, the balance, the security, the absolute flow to open up for that. It's gorgeous, Scorpio, gorgeous. Now, Mars on November 15th moving into Pisces. It's this beautiful space where all your energy is going into creativity. It's going into love, joy, and doing things from a heart space. You see, now that you're renewed and refreshed, now that you've cast all the shadows out there and have dealt with them and brought more balance into that and found solace maybe in love, for those of you in a relationship, or even found solace working closely with somebody, finding new people to get close to. You find solace and healing in that, and because you feel now more like you, that things have more meaning and that some of the trash has been gone, has been finished with, has been dealt with, and now you're sunny and shiny, you find that you're more able to create. You're in that nice place where you can allow your heart to be happy. And Mars wants that. Mars is passion, energy. And a lot of you could be putting a huge amount of passion and energy into love and creativity. And it's worth doing. Because if it's something that you can make money from, if you're creating something, then Jupiter is expanding that. Remember, he wants those little acorns to turn into mighty oaks for you. Sun in Sagittarius around November 22nd. This is where money is really on your mind. I think after this wonderful period where you've rested, relaxed, gotten rid of some of the toxic shit, become more like you and started again, both physically and emotionally, bringing in that sense of balance and poise and equilibrium. Now you have the energy with Jupiter, Mercury in Sagittarius, and now with the Sun in Sagittarius, really opening up everything to do with money, everything to do with feeling secure, and everything to do with having self-confidence and feeling strong and secure in yourself. You remember, everything is balance. If you this month feel, and you will, that what's inside you, your emotions, are balanced and that they are working in perfect harmony with what you're creating, what you're doing, the new spaces you're probably creating in work, the new space you're creating for your health, the new space you're creating to shine, inside and outside. That is the perfect flow. That is the perfect dance in the twilight place that you're now in this month. November 23rd, full moon in Gemini in the 8th house. So towards the end of the month, there is still some toxic stuff that you might have to let go of. That may still happen. And it's almost like the last purge will come towards the end of the month. Why? Because you're feeling more confident, more poised, more graceful, more sure of yourself. And because of that, you're ready to turn your face away. You're turning your face towards the sun and turning your face away from the trash of this world. So that grows and grows and grows. And the moon will gently allow you to communicate all the things that are no longer for you. Now also, the moon there might mark a period where you finally get to communicate that you may not need the help and assistance of other people anymore. Maybe you were working with other people, collaborating with them. Maybe you found that you needed another person's source of, I don't know, support, be it financially or being a support for you in some way, maybe helping you out with something, that you finally towards the end of the month realize that you don't necessarily need the crutch of other people's support, and you'll be able to communicate that. What you don't either need is the support of people telling you, giving you the right words to prop you up. You don't need that anymore because you already feel better in yourself this month, Scorpio. So there's no need for you to have people saying, you're wonderful, you're wonderful, you're wonderful. You can do this by yourself now. Yeah. And I know that sounds very like, oh my God, Scorpio needs people to constantly remind them how wonderful they are. We all do from time to time, Scorpio. We all do. I'm not saying you always do it, but it just marks the end of that period where you ask people, you second guess yourself and ask people for their help or their influence in some way. So that's a period where it comes to the end. Now, it also could mark the end of some great big worry about some financial issue that you had too. So as you're growing stronger this month, you might see some debts decrease towards the end of the month. You might pay off some loans. It's just a time where you close off some great big fears about taxes, debts, finances, insurances, taxes. So you have it together, it seems, by the end of the month, yeah. And Neptune going direct this month in Pisces, where a new dream is born, where the old dreams have faded and a new dream of happiness is born for you. Yeah, a new dream, that card came up there. Yeah, a new dream, a very dream-like card. A new dream is born for you, a dream of love, creativity and happiness. So it's really nice. I'm just feeling your energy here, Scorpio. Usually when the sun is in a sign, I feel quite, strong energy and go, go, go. But I'm actually feeling this really nice, calm energy where you're feeling more together and you are feeling the flow in, the flow out, where you feel more confident that you have the control now over some relationships, over some situations, particularly financial situations. It just all seems to be flowing that bit better for you as we go through the month. So that is just beautiful. Scorpio, we're waiting on one last card, one more shuffle. Oh, actually, what I'll do, if you don't mind, Scorpio, I was going to say I'll choose a birthday card for you, but that popped out. But I might just choose a little extra card for you, just as your birthday card. The lovers, when you feel that inside and outside is coming together, when you feel that everything is coming together for you, my love. Okay, Scorpio, let's do this. Let's move over to the the big overview. Now, here we go with your first card. Cups, representing love, healing, surrender, release, letting go of the old trash, which we spoke about last month. You've done it. You've surrendered it, and you've healed yourself and cleaned yourself psychically, emotionally. Wherever the long shadows were cast, you spoke about these big subjects that came up, taboo subjects. You protected your heart. You protected the things that you love and care about, and left everything else go to the trash. This is you feeling passion is renewed, that all the good, clean things in you are happening now. Health is coming back, so it would appear for you, and especially Uranus retrograding in the 6th house for you. It's in Aries, the new vibe about taking care of your own health and realizing that some of the heavier toxic shit you had been holding on to was really making you ill at times, maybe making you anxious, nervous, worried, or even a little bit down. So it's a great opportunity for you now, as we go right into the start of the month, to address those issues, to fix them, and to allow the healing to continue with you. It's a card of love. It's a card of feeling connected. And this is you. People are looking at you, they're seeing the sun shine through you, and there's a huge amount of love, respect, and admiration for you. So it's really nice. You're healing yourself, but you may also be healing others here too, because it's the first card. You are entering the month offering the cup of love, offering sympathy, offering real, meaningful, deep feeling to people around you, those who are in a relationship with you, and even your friends. Because, again, it's all about this balance. In order for water, psychic waters, emotional waters, not to get stuck and stagnant, they must flow. And you recognize that. Love must flow. Good, healthy communication must flow. The flow must be clean and pure. And that's the only way to wash away the trash. Yeah. But this card on a more literal level is about love. Firstly, the love of some great big new adventure that you're going on. And I understand why, Scorpio, because you are exploring new horizons. As the sun is sitting on the Scorpio horizon, casting long shadows, the North Node is moving into Cancer in the 9th house of new horizons. So you are looking for new horizons to expand yourself, to expand your life, to travel, to explore. And you want a new adventure. You want a new adventure. Now this could be really a new resurgence of passion for going back and studying something, going back to be educated, going back to your faith, going back to some ideology, going back to find strength in knowing that you can expand your mind, expand your soul, and expand your horizons. It really could mark a great period for you, Scorpio, where you are discovering new horizons. Some of you might really want to start traveling now, and this goes on for a while. This goes on until was it 2020? Is it May 2020, I think? It goes on for a long period where you are on great big journeys of healing, great big journeys of discovery, great big journeys of learning, and just wanting to see more, wanting to meet people from foreign cultures, wanting to maybe move abroad, as I said, wanting to get out of the commonplace and into something higher. This is a house where we have the higher moral ground. So it could be a moment, excuse me, Scorpio, where you say, I stayed too long in the dross and mediocrity of this world. I've stayed too long arguing with small-minded people. I've stayed too long in the nit, he said, she said, she said. I need to see something bigger, more expansive and more beautiful. And this is the beginning of this great big adventure for you. The next year or more is going to be just one big long adventure for you to learn, discover. And in this great big discovery, you heal. You heal. And you may even find new love for those looking for that. Yeah, absolutely. In Cancer there, because Cancer represents the home and family, a lot of you could find love and start a family in a new, foreign, fresh place. Or even bring your existing family to a new, foreign, fresh place that isn't so full of chaos and chatter and noise. It's just a healthier place all in all. Now here we have you, the Page of Wands. Sorry, Scorpio. I was just saying, here you have the Page of Wands, rediscovering the magic in him, which is essentially the ability to defend himself with great might and great power and great confidence. I always say this guy has a feather in his cap. He is looking hot and he is ready to go. And he looks dangerous. I mean, this is a dangerous rival. And that seems to be what you're experiencing actually this month, Scorpio. You've had this great healing. You've had this great rejuvenation. You're ready for your big adventure. But you're doing it now with a great sense of confidence, and don't dare anybody stand in your way. This card is also somebody who is learning, really learning again how to defend themselves properly, to defend themselves using the magic within them, which is a bit fiery, and we know you can be a bit fiery, Scorpio, at times, but you are absolutely determined and adamant to defend your, what? Privacy. So I see in the first top row, you're going on this new adventure, perhaps, as I said, to get out of the chatter, noise, and you want to perhaps defend. You're doing this all in an effort to defend your privacy, to defend your peace of mind, to defend your health, to defend your ability to relax the mind and dream, the ability to go into psychic places, the ability to have long thoughts, new creative thoughts. And for some of you, maybe that's an issue that has been coming up, that you haven't had the space or time or proper way to put magic back into some of these wonderful ideas that seem to be coming up for you when you relax, when you meditate. But is it that you didn't have a whole lot of time to relax and meditate? You're saying, if only I had a few moments peace to myself, if only I had a bit of quiet time, then I could bring all my enthusiasm back. I could bring all of my magic back. And now you're in the zone of defending. I would ask you this, are some of you in the process now of defending your peace and quiet within your home, within your environment, maybe within your office, even in a relationship? There is too much interference where you just can't relax and create and be at peace and have a calm mind. But as the Page of Wands suggests, the new enthusiasm is coming back for you now to literally put your foot down, stamp it down and say, I defend my privacy. I defend my right to have some peace and quiet and solitude. I must protect that at all costs. Now, why are you feeling that? You're feeling that there are too many people involved in your business, too many people involved in your life in general, too many people with too many opinions. Yeah. And also too many people, as I said to you, sitting under that long shadow that you cast, which was originally supposed to offer healing, but they just seem to be happy to stay under your wing. And you're saying, out you go. I need this clear space. I don't need people draining me. I don't need people hanging around, interfering with my peace of mind. So you're adamant about that this month, Scorpio. Defend, defend, defend the home, defend your peace, defend your quiet, defend your solitude, defend the new ideas that are starting to emerge up through you. Yeah. Now here we have Judgment beside the Five of Cups. A big decision, it seems, has to be made around mid-month. Around what could that be? What could that be? It could be within a relationship. You know that we spoke about casting shadows and seeing the truth in situations. So, seeing things dark in a relationship or hidden in a relationship that are being called up and being dealt with now that the light is behind Scorpio, casting a shadow on things that are shadowy. So you're weighing up a lot of things. It could be within a relationship. You're weighing up to see whether there is balance, which is what Jupiter is trying to expand. The Sun at the end of the month is trying to expand. Mercury retrograding is trying to expand. Is this balance? Is this a balanced relationship? Are there things in this relationship worth salvaging? Because right now I feel very isolated. I feel very unheard. I feel left out, disappointed. And I also feel a little bit guilty for feeling like this. So it's a kind of a double-edged sword. You're feeling sad, let down, disappointed at some point mid-month. But yet, you're not throwing everything out. You're weighing things up. You're calling things up for judgment. You're sifting through the things that have been laid out in front of you in this shadow to see whether anything is salvageable. Is this relationship salvageable? Is this job salvageable? The office space that I work in salvageable? My day-to-day routine, is there anything worth keeping there? My health, is there something that is making me a bit sad that I need to really investigate this and dig deep? Now, Scorpio, out of everybody, you are the masters at digging deep. So, like I said, so many issues might come up for you mid-month that really need close examination, close inspection, and a real moment to test them, to see if they're making you sad. It's that moment, I said you're defending your peace and quiet and your solitude because you know that will bring your magic back. But in that peace and quiet and solitude, the first thing that you want to do is open up all the shadows, to cast your Scorpio light on the shadows and say, am I fooling myself? What is salvageable here in this situation, in this relationship, in this environment? Have I been so busy that I didn't have the peace and quiet to recognize that some situation or relationship or person was hurting me emotionally, deeply, and I felt isolated because of that. So there's a great period mid-month where you're calling all of these things up for review and testing how they feel, like holding them up and saying, well, how do I feel about this now? Is this bringing me balance? Is this a balanced situation in my life? Or is it causing me chaos where I have no peace of mind? So the litmus test here is not about how practical a situation is, not about how you have to do something, not about any of those external factors. It's really more about, well, how do I feel about this? Is it making me sad, disappointed, disillusioned, and feeling that every time I try to do a good thing that I just get walked on or I just get slapped in the face for trying to offer my cup of help, offer my cup of healing, offer my depth. You see, when the sun is trying to heal, it goes through Scorpio and it's a deep shadow, as we've said over and over. And maybe not everybody is prepared to receive that healing, and you're saying, why bother? Why do I try? But hold on to how you feel about situations this month. As I said, rather than saying, well, I must, I have to, I need to, well, it's in place now, or I've committed to it now. Feel this out and cast real judgment upon it to get you out of that feeling. And once you do, Scorpio, here we have Venus in Scorpio beside the Sun in Scorpio. Love, money, beauty, attraction, every possibility. Once you have this peace of quiet and once you recognize what's worth keeping and what's not, you suddenly see a great potential coming for something in your life. A great potential for what? Sun in Scorpio, healing, starting over. You've the Sun in Scorpio, you've the new moon in Scorpio. Changing up how you respond to this world. Didn't I say earlier that if you feel right on the inside, then everything on the outside will also flow better? And you're recognizing that as one of your superpowers this month. This is the gift of recognizing that you are more confident in yourself. You have more love for yourself this month. And you're exploring that and expanding that and opening up the possibilities of that. This is a card also of victory. I sense mid-month some of you could be put under task a little bit to weigh up a situation, and there may be some pressure. You may be saying, I don't want to have to make this decision. I don't want to choose. I don't want to let something go. I don't want to have to be in this position. But what happens here, Scorpio, is that there seems to be a great victory for your heart. I wonder, have you been ignoring your feelings for too long? Scorpio, you're a water sign. You are deep. Your waters run very, very deep. And I know at times you say, well, you know, every time I try to be Scorpio, people always shoot me down or slap me down or tell me I'm this, that or the other. And I've tried to suppress how I feel about certain things and try to just focus and get on with life and keep myself busy. Well, now mid-month it seems that the first great judgment you'll make is having a victory over allowing your emotions come out, over allowing yourself to remember the love that you have. Remembering who loves you is very key this month. And I think some of the greatest decisions you'll be faced with mid-month is about, well, who loves me and who doesn't? Where is the balance? And that can get very, very tricky. You know, one of those places that you just don't want to find yourself in, but it has to be done. And it's worth doing because it cleans you out, it heals you, and it gives you a victory of the heart. 7 is relationships. Having some deep judgment call on a relationship that's making you a bit sad. And I don't mean for a moment to say that you have to end it. You don't have to. But you certainly have to end the things that are being brought up that must be dealt with. And that is where victory comes. That is where love returns. That is where the possibilities start opening for you again, where there are new treasures of the heart waiting for you. I will say this, for some of you, some of you could mark a period where you are finally getting some rest and peace and quiet from finishing a relationship that didn't work. You may be spending some time going over old ground saying, how did I get myself into this situation? How do I get myself into these relationships? Feeling a bit sad and sorry for yourself. But then when you realize you're free and remember who you are, you're open again to fall back into love with somebody who hears you, with somebody who isn't afraid of the shadow that you cast, somebody who isn't afraid of your depth, somebody who isn't afraid to get down deep and dirty in order to rise back up, clean, refreshed, renewed, not full of the shit of this world, but whole, happy and complete. So for some of you, mid-month, that is something you'll be going under, and it will be a wonderful, wonderful journey that brings you to success at the end, Scorpio. Now coming towards the end of the month, here we have 2. the balancing act. Jupiter in Sagittarius in the second house. Mercury retrograding also in the second house. You have the Sun then on the 22nd of November in the second house. One of the things that you're going to bring back to balance, as I've said before, is money, is being able to stand up and have control over your money. But also it's about standing up and defending your self-confidence. Scorpio, I'm seeing that here's the journey I'm seeing. Your self-confidence has been knocked, but the magic is coming back again for you to defend your quiet, hidden, secret, special space where the magic really is. You go through the middle of the month calling up what's not causing or what's not bringing you balance, and by the end of the month you are ready to bring balance back into your self-esteem. You're ready to flow better with other people. You're ready to release all those bitches who just want to antagonize you and fight with you, and to just defend. There's a real atmosphere here too, Scorpio, of defending the people you love, defending the projects you're doing, defending your heart, defending who and what you love, defending your life, defending your space, and winning. I mean, what's the point of having these shadows being open and exposed for healing if we don't really deal with them and bring balance back to them, which ultimately, if we face these things, give us more strength to defending yourself against shadowy people, defending yourself against tricky people, against people who don't flow. They say one thing and do another. They're very good at making you feel all the right feelings, but not practicing what they preach. And that's what I think is coming up for you. It's this thing of sifting through what is rising up in you. See, the first card is suggesting that things are to be healed and they're rising up in you. Things from the shadows. Things about people who perhaps always find themselves in some sort of an emotional drama and who are always asking you to fix their dramas, that they're always in a dire straits position, and slowly and surely you're finding the truth in some situation. But I'll say this, you're defending yourself against shadows. I suspect that there are tricky people or tricky situations. Now you have the upper hand here, Scorpio. Let me just remind you here, you have the upper hand in this situation. But you must guard yourself and protect yourself from people who are subtly manipulative and who are able to project empathy, sympathy. They're able to project this feeling that makes you feel okay, but it is an illusion. And you're getting it, and that's why you're defending. And there will be a moment towards the end of the month where you finally have that epiphany, where you wake up to what's going on. Wake up, you've two cards. You've the full moon at the end of the month in Gemini, and you have a Gemini card here. Some of you could be waking up to a Gemini. But either way, you wake up to a situation and you go, well, that was shit. That was even shadier than I thought it was. That was more insane than I thought it was. And it'll be a moment again, like I said, where you wake up and realize that you don't have to deal with other people's madness, that you don't have to deal with other people's shadowy shit. And you recognize here through the 9 that your mind is free, that you're over the worst of some negative emotional manipulation. I am even going to go as far as saying that it's all about defending about a very, very shady character. An absolute born liar, a born manipulator. And you are coming out through the worst of it, I'm happy to say, by the end of the month. And what are you doing? You're feeling that you're coming together, that everything is coming together again once you do. You're feeling that you're more connected with your purpose, with yourself, with the things you love, with the people you love. It feels like you've woken up and finally seen the lights, finally solved the puzzle of this situation. You get it now. You get it why somebody's trying to manipulate you. You get it why somebody is trying to maybe make you feel a certain way that kind of deludes you in some way. But now that you've woken up to it, you're more prepared to listen to what? Listen to your own instinct. This is when the two divided parts of ourselves come together. This is where the internal world is able to, with confidence, step out to the external world and say, this is who I am, no bullshit, no lies, no anything. This is me, this is what you get is what you see. I am not making apologies for who I am. I am not sorry that I've cut people out of my life. I am not sorry that the moment I wake up to some manipulative situation that I will defend that shit in order to bring balance in my life. I am not one bit guilty, I'm not one bit sad, and I'm not one bit remorseful about making that big judgment call that had me all worried and sweating in the middle of the month. Because now I am coming back together. I am bringing everything back together to a state of balance. And I am now only encouraging love in my life. I am only encouraging people to enter my space who really care about me, who give meaning to my life, and who in turn I can return that and give meaning back to their life. I have gifts and talents that I'm not going to let other people use. I have the sun on my back with the Sun and Scorpio card reminding me what a good and decent and honourable person I am. I don't have to deal with this anymore, and I make no apology. I make no apology because I know where I stand, and I am getting myself together and my shit together, and I am marching on through this month without looking back, in anger, without looking back in regret, cleaning up that shittiness of the past and moving forward with a real sense of purpose and love, able to make decisions for myself, for my health, for my well-being, and for what I want and need. So Scorpio, that's quite an intense month, I have to say, for your birthday month. And it is a journey. Speaking of journeys that you're going on, this is the first one. It's the big journey you're going on to finally clear that manipulative trash that has brought imbalance into your heart and mind. You're fixing it up, solving the puzzle, and bringing it back to balance. So congratulations with that, Scorpio. Now, Scorpio, before I say I leave it at that, I just wanted to let you know something. Sorry, Scorpio. I was just saying that I am starting a new project where I'm doing a new series of videos on Vimeo called The Deep Read. And every month I will still do these general readings here. It'll always be the same like this, but there will be an opportunity for you to go to Vimeo and go into Scorpio, The Deep Read, and to investigate the themes that we talk about on a much deeper level. We'll go into subjects like love, for those in a relationship, those looking for love, for your career, for your money, family, friends, lucky things, anything that crops up we'll talk about, and we'll bring it up to the surface. So what I've done is I've linked it down below if that's something that you feel you'd like to do or something that you can do. I have kept the price as low as I possibly could, considering that they're videos roughly about 60 minutes long, going in depth. So if it's something that you feel that you can do or you're able to do, I'd love you to come along to check it out and see what you feel. And hopefully you get a more deeper read for the month ahead. And so Scorpio, yeah, I'm going to leave it at that. And like I said, my love, I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful Scorpio season, birthday month. And I hope you are spoiled rotten. And I hope that you recognize some of the themes that have been brought up, and ultimately remembering that you win through in the end, no matter what is thrown at you. So Scorpio, I'm going to leave it at that. As always, my darling, I will leave you with a great big kiss, mwah, and all my love. Until next month, Scorpio, bye.